and that on behalf of such a one a son ought to proceed against his father and accuse him of murder? How would you show that all the gods absolutely agree in approving of this act? Prove to me that they do, and I will applaud your wisdom as long as I live.
It will be a difficult task, but I could make the matter very clear indeed to you.
I understand. You mean to say that I am not so quick of apprehension as the judges, for to them you will be sure to prove that the act is unjust and hateful to the gods.
Yes, indeed, Socrates. At least, if they will listen to me.
But they will be sure to listen if they find that you are a good speaker. There was a notion that came into my mind while you were speaking. I said to myself, well, and what if Euthyphro does prove to me that all the gods regarded the death of the serf as unjust? How do I know anything more of the nature of piety and impiety? For granting that this action may be hateful to the gods, still piety and impiety are not adequately defined by these distinctions, for that which is hateful to the gods has been shown to be also pleasing and dear to them. And therefore, Euthyphro, I do not ask you to prove this. I will suppose, if you like, that all the gods condemn and abominate such an action. But I will amend the definition so far as to say that what all the gods hate is impious, and what they love is pious or holy. And what some of them love and others hate is both or neither. Shall this be our definition of piety and impiety?
Why not, Socrates?
Why not? Certainly, as far as I am concerned, Euthyphro, there is no reason why not. But whether this admission will greatly assist you in the task of instructing me as you promised is a matter for you to consider.
Yes, I should say that what all the gods love is pious and holy, and the opposite, which they all hate, impious.
Ought we to inquire into the truth of this, Euthyphro, or simply to accept the mere statement on our own authority and that of others? What do you say?
We should inquire, and I believe that the statement will stand the test of inquiry.
We shall know better, my good friend, in a little while. The point which I should first wish to understand is whether the pious or holy is beloved by the gods because it is holy, or holy because it is beloved of the gods.
I do not understand your meaning, Socrates.
I will endeavor to explain. We speak of carrying and we speak of being carried, of leading and being led, seeing and being seen. You know that in all such cases there is a difference, and you know also in what the difference lies?
I think that I understand.
And is not that which is beloved distinct from that which loves?
Certainly.
Well, and now tell me, is that which is carried in the state of carrying because it is carried, or for some other reason?
No, that is the reason.
And the same is true of what is led, and of what is seen?
True.
And a thing is not seen because it is visible, but conversely, visible because it is seen. Nor is a thing led because it is in the state of being led, or carried because it is in the state of being carried, but the converse of this. And now I think, Euthyphro, that my meaning will be intelligible. And my meaning is that any state of action or passion implies previous action or passion. It does not become because it is becoming, but it is in a state of becoming because it becomes. Neither does it suffer because it is in a state of suffering, but it is in a state of suffering because it suffers. Do you not agree?
Yes.
Is not that which is loved in some state either of becoming or suffering?
Yes.
And the same holds as in the previous instances. The state of being loved follows the act of being loved, not the act state.
Certainly.
And what do you say of piety, Euthyphro? Is not piety, according to your definition, loved by all the gods?
Yes.
Because it is pious or holy, or for some other reason?
No, that is the reason.
It is loved because it is holy, not holy because it is loved.
Yes.
And that which is dear to the gods is loved by them, and is in a state to be loved of them because it is loved of them.
Certainly.
Then that which is dear to the gods, Euthyphro, is not holy, nor is that which is holy loved of God, as you affirm. but they are two different things.
How do you mean, Socrates?
I mean to say that the holy has been acknowledged by us to be loved of God because it is holy, not to be holy because it is loved.
Yes.
But that which is dear to the gods is dear to them because it is loved by them, not loved by them because it is dear to them.
True.
But, friend Euthyphro, if that which is holy is the same with that which is dear to God, and is loved because it is holy, then that which is dear to God would have been loved as being dear to God. But if that which is dear to God is dear to him because loved by him, then that which is holy would have been holy because loved by him. But now you see, that is the reverse of the case, and that they are quite different from one another. For one, Theophiles is of a kind to be loved because it is loved, and the other, Ossian, is loved because it is of a kind to be loved. Thus you appear to me, Euthyphro, when I ask you what is the essence of holiness, to offer an attribute only, and not the essence, the attribute of being loved by all the gods. But you still refuse to explain to me the nature of holiness. And therefore, if you please, I will ask you not to hide your treasure, but to tell me once more what holiness or piety really is, whether dear to the gods or not, for that is a matter about which we will not quarrel. And what is impiety?
I really do not know, Socrates, how to express what I mean. For somehow or other our arguments, on whatever ground we rest them, seem to turn around and walk away from us.
Your words, Euthyphro, are like the handiwork of my ancestor Daedalus, and if I were the sayer or propounder of them, you might say that my arguments walk away and will not remain fixed where they are placed, because I am a descendant of his. But now, since these notions are your own, you must find some other jibe, for they certainly, as you yourself allow, show an inclination to be on the move.
Nay, Socrates, I shall still say you are the Daedalus who sets arguments in motion. Not I, certainly, but you make them move or go round, for they would never have stirred as far as I am concerned.
Then I must be a greater than Daedalus, for whereas he only made his own inventions to move, I move those of other people as well. And the beauty of it is that I would rather not. For I would give the wisdom of Daedalus and the wealth of Tantalus to be able to detain them and keep them fixed. But enough of this. As I perceive that you are lazy, I will myself endeavour to show you how you might instruct me in the nature of piety, and I hope that you will not grudge your labour. Tell me then, is not that which is pious necessarily just?
Yes.
And is then all which is just pious? Or is that which is pious all just, but that which is just only in part and not all pious?
I do not understand you, Socrates.
And yet I know that you are a much wiser man than I am, as you are younger. But as I was saying, revered friend, the abundance of your wisdom makes you lazy. Please to exert yourself, for there is no real difficulty in understanding me. What I mean I may explain by an illustration of what I do not mean. The poet Stasinus sings, "Of Zeus, the author and creator of all these things, you will not tell. For where there is fear, there is also reverence." Now I disagree with this poet. Shall I tell you in what respect?
By all means.
I should not say that where there is fear, there is also reverence. For I am sure that many persons fear poverty and disease, and the like evils, but I do not perceive that they reverence the objects of their fear.
Very true.
But where reverence is, there is fear. For he who has a feeling of reverence and shame about the commission of any action fears and is afraid of an ill reputation.
No doubt.
Then we are wrong in saying that where there is fear, there is also reverence. And we should say, where there is reverence, there is also fear. But there is not always reverence where there is fear, for fear is a more extended notion, and reverence is a part of fear, just as the odd is a part of a number, and number is a more extended notion than the odd. I suppose that you follow me now?
Quite well.
That was the sort of question